Alright, shalawam. Alright, shalawam. First off, I want to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, kodash. Double honors to apostles, elders, and GMS. And take the elect with order, sincerity, and the truth. Shalawam. That is GMS precepts. Zar Chud here. And, yeah, so as you can see in this article, so as you can see in the art, this is from Fox News. Yeah, so the situation it's a big talk. Past 4 or 5 days is a big situation. The situation in between Israel and Iran is escalating, and now you see Trump. Oh, this article. Okay, so this article, he's saying he left a conference, the G7 conference, early. He left Canada. It says right here, right? It says President Trump arrived in D.C. early Tuesday after leaving the G summit in Canada ahead of schedule because of this situation going on in Iran, or between Iran and Israel, right? So, yo, it's getting pretty bad there. It's getting pretty bad. Both states are occurring a lot of damage. This is from an Iranian, right? It says we are in a war zone. Iranians speak out as Israelis' strikes continue hitting regime targets, right? Residents describe buildings shaking, explosions throughout the night as confusion spreads across the city of 10 million. So, but you see, what they don't mention is they hit where's the article? They're hitting civilian targets, man. They're hitting the news station. What article is that? I just read it. Anyway, the situation is getting pretty bad there. Now you've got Trump, who's threatening to. Right now, America is indirectly in the war, right? They're supplying Israel with weapons, and they help them with with their defense systems. But now they're saying, damn, this is cut off, but it says U.S. strikes against Iran are on the table. Senior White House official says, right? So, um, and you can see, what is this? Is this the quote here? Trump said that uh, he knows where the leader is, Iranian leader is. He knows where he is. We can kill him now. We control the Iranian skies, but we're not going to attack them now. They want peace. So basically, what they want is a regime change. They're pushing for a regime change, but if they don't get that, it could if depending on how far or how much Iran pushes back, um, and how much U.S. gets involved, they can they threaten to strike U.S. targets. Right? Where's I got that article too. Here it is. It says Iran prepares to hit U.S. regional bases with missiles if Trump joins the war. So it's getting. Listen, I I Iran is fighting back. You know, they're getting attacks from Israel, but Iran is fighting back, and they're threatening to escalate if Trump escalates. If I don't know, it's tough. If the U.S. gets involved, they threaten to escalate the situation, right? Right. So this is how you know it's a regime change. This is an exiled guy from Iran, and he's getting on Khamenei, the Iranian leader. Um, he needs to look. The Islamic Republic has come to an end, and it's falling. Right. He needs to come out of hiding and face judgment or whatever. Um, so basically, they want a regime change. They either want a person in there that they can control, and this look like AI too. It look weird. I didn't play the video. They want somebody in there that they can control, or they just want to totally obliterate it. Um, See, U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities are on the table. These are all the places that they control. Here's a quote. It says, President Trump has very quickly followed up with even more bellicose and alarming statements directly threatening Iran, repeatedly using "we" as if the United States military is already directly involved in the ratcheting war. He said in the latest, he said, "We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but is safe there," right? So yeah, that's true. He's saying "we" like if they're directly involved, right? Allegedly, they're indirectly. Right now, they're just so that's showing you that they're more involved than they are. Why you and Israel double teaming Iran, threatening them to, um, uh, you know, threatening them to not have any nuclear wishes or nuclear ability. Okay? We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is. He is an easy target, but is safe there. We are not going to take him out, at least for now. But we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. Thank you for your attention. Right? So yeah. So look, it says here: Are we witnessing another? And this is, I'll leave this in the description also. It says, "Are we witnessing the start of another regime change war in the Middle East?" Right? Look, unconditional surrender. So that's what he wants. Oh, this is, yeah, unconditional surrender. The escalatory and gymnastic rhetoric could also be because Washington is certainly not used to seeing Israeli cities get pummeled by Iranian hypersonic and ballistic missiles. Meanwhile, when did MERS become used as a department? German chancellor. Anyway, so yeah, so it's they always do this when they want a regime change. They do a little patty cake war, um, to try to sway the opposition to just either surrender or allow their puppet leader in there. Um, Below willingness escalates, man. Below willingness, because it very well could escalate. This can escalate really quickly, And part of our job is to and it's getting bad. It's like, Israel's taking a lot of shots from Iran. Like, the situation with them, between Iran and Israel, is getting serious, more serious than in recent history. It's getting real. It's escalating, and escalating quickly. So it can get worse than it already is. You know. So Lord willing, it could might very well lead to once right now the U.S. is indirectly in it. Once they get directly in it, oh, it's World War III. I mean, it's already, but it's gonna be. Then you're gonna see, because you have Russia that threatened America not to get involved. They told them, don't get involved, right? A direct threat, don't get involved. Okay, so right now they're involved, but it's indirect. So the war can only be a certain level, right? It can get higher, but America has to get more involved. Um, and then you got the Strait of Hormuz. You can have, man. It's gonna get bad. Yo, if it gets worse, what Iran's gonna do is they're gonna block the Strait of Hormuz. I believe it's right here. What they're gonna do is they're gonna block the Strait of Hormuz, which is where we get our gas from. That's gonna shoot up gas prices, man, to like $12, man. Shit, and I got a truck. Oh well, it could get real bad. So let me get Jeremiah, right? This is Jeremiah 50 and 45. It says, "Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he has purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock," right? "The least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them." And we know the least of the flock, that represents America, aka Babylon. America is going to be drawn into this war. Now, I went into that word draw. Let's go. I went into that word draw, right? Sakhab, sakhab, right? To drag, right? To trail along, draw out, right? To drag, right? Let's go down here. It says to drag, I can't highlight that. To drag or draw along on the ground so as to sweep the earth, e.g., exemplify grata, a dead body. To dogs to drag them up, right? So it's like them. It's like, you see in a cartoon. If you see a cartoon character, they're getting dragged, you know, by somebody, and they don't want to go. They're like they're scratching on the ground. No, don't take me. That's how figuratively, that's how America's gonna join this bigger situation. They're gonna get dragged into the situation where it's gonna lead to a bigger situation, man, which is beautiful, right? Because that's what the Most High wants. The Most High wants a bigger situation. And the bigger situation is World War III. You know, the bigger situation that is that Third World War. There will be a Third World War. Okay, and this is in punishment for all you nations, man. All the nations are gonna get judged. Okay, and it's gonna be a regime. There will be a regime change. It's just gonna be the regime of Yahawashi. What is that? Zechariah? Is that Zechariah? Let me get that. Let me get it. Zechariah, the 3rd chapter. Nah. Zephaniah, Salakia. Zephaniah 3, 3 and 8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me," and that's what we gotta do. We gotta wait ye upon the Lord. Okay, we have to wait upon Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi, because he has to, we have to follow his lead. He has to. We have to wait on him to move. Right. That's why we always say it's not us to come against and to rise up against Esau. We gotta wait on Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi. We gotta wait on the Most High. Okay, because it's not in our power. We need the Most High to overtake. According to the Bible, we need the Most High to take part in the removal of the current system. Okay, it says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey." Okay, for my determination is to what? Gather the nations, right? So that's what's going on right now, right? Or we're in the early stages of that going on. The Most High is going to gather all the nations into one place to fight a battle. The land of Jehoshaphat, Yahawashi, right? The Lord is going to draw them into one place to fight a battle and to be taken. Well, it's going to say. Let me not, jump the gun. It says, to gather the nations that I may assemble the kingdoms, right? Kingdoms of the earth, the rulers of the earth, right? The armies of these rulers, these kingdoms, they're going to be drawn into one place for a purpose, not for no reason. It's not a cookie. It's not a cosplay convention, you know. It's for what? To pour upon them mine indignation. Okay? To pour upon them mine indignation. And the indignation of the Lord is going to be, or essentially it's his righteous. You want to know how angry the Most High is towards these other nations? Look at look look at how the Most High is going to take them out. Right? The Most High is going to take them out in such a fashion, in such a violent fashion, in such an abrupt way. You're going to know the indignation of the Lord. That's going to be it's gonna be how can I say this? A way that you'll know how angry the Most High is towards these other nations, especially Esau. Right? It says to pour upon their mind indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured in a fire of my jealousy. The fire is jealousy. That's speaking about that fire is speaking about those thermonuclear missiles. Indignation. All right, let's close. But I want to see what. Let's just see what indignation is. Za'im. Za'im. It says in anger. Okay, see, pretty, anger, indignation, strictly froth at the mouth, figuratively, especially at the Most High's displeasure with sin, angry, indignation, rage. Damn. Damn. It says properly for only use, perhaps. Fierceness or anger, or indignation, especially the wrath of the Most High, as shown in the the infliction of punishment. Right, like I said, you'll know how angry the Lord is by the level of punishment that they're gonna receive. Okay, Za'im 2195. Let's see what this means. To denounce, expression, indignation, to be indignant, to have indignation, be angrily indignant, be abhorrent, to express indignation in speech. Right? So look, man. Oh well. This is all warranted, man. Is it? No, let me go back. H2195. Indignation, anger, rage. Okay? The indignation of the Lord. Alright, you other nations, especially Esau, you're going to know the anger of the Lord. Alright, so let's read that again to close. It says, this is Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, to the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation. So he's telling you the reason why the Most High is going to gather these nations for that third world's war, that third woe. He's going to gather them up. He's going to allow them to go into war. He's going to allow them to meet in one place, so he can do what? It says, even all my fierce anger, for what? For all the earth shall be devoured and with the fire of my jealousy. So he can take them and destroy them, man. This is, what do you call it? Chess, not checkers. Alright, that's pretty much it, man. This situation has a real strong potential of getting really, really bad really fast. You know, if they hold up, which according to prophecy, we know what this is, man. The story is Iran and Israel, and even if you don't believe in the scriptures, if you don't believe in the Bible, Iran or Israel and America, it's always been a plan of theirs to go into Iran. All right, that's always been in the plans, going even back to the Iraq War. You know, in 2001, that's been in the work. That's been in the plans, man, to go into Iran. They just needed an excuse. Okay, I remember I saw a montage of videos. Oh, Iran is weeks away. I think the video said Netanyahu says 30 times since '06, right? Because they've always been pushing for this. Oh, Iran, they've got nuclear missiles, nuclear capability, They're a big threat. You know, they're weeks away. Nigga, they was weeks away. Oh wait, what happened? They're always weeks away, man. Lord willing, this is the time, man. Lord willing, this is the time. This is something that we were supposed to look at. Iran and Israel, and right now, they've gotten the skirmishes before, but this is different. This is different. They're in direct. They're in a war that it hasn't escalated this high in recent memory. You know, and we have a president that isn't gonna be like Sleepy Joe and wanna de-escalate. Like if Israel goes to Trump and be like, "Look, we want to do this. We want to attack." Trump is gonna be more with it. Trump is gonna be with it, more with it than than um than Sleepy Joe. But anyway, all right. So, Lord willing, you brothers and sisters were edified. Till the next show. Shalom.